98 in your books. Alright, everybody on the page? Alright, today guys we're going to be doing equations of lines. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at is slope, intercept form. Does anybody know what the slope intercept form is? Anybody give me the equation?
And it's y equals anything.
That's what it is. It's y equal to mx plus b. Alright, does anybody know what m represents?
The slope?
M is the slope. And what's the b?
The y intercept.
And b is equal to the y intercept. What does the x and y represent in this equation?
I think it's like on the line.
It represents a point on the graph, alright, that the equation is representing. Okay? What about point slope? Can anybody tell me what point slope form is?
Y minus y1 equals m.
So we have y minus y1 equal to m
Parentheses. X minus x1 plus.
x minus x1 plus parentheses. Alright, what this is they'll give you a slope, an equation that has a slope. Usually we do this either with a given slope, or it may say that you have a parallel equation. They want you to find another equation with the same slope, with the two parallel equations or perpendicular where they meet at a right angle. They'll give you a slope and 2 points, and then you'll write out the equation to come up with the new equation that comes up with the new line. Alright, so that's another thing that we'll look at. Alright, so let's get to the first step. Alright, look at example 1. Alright, example 1 deals with the slope intercept form. Alright, so if you look at the first example, it says write an equation and slope intercept form of the line with slope 3 and y-intercept of -2. So what's the two things that they give us?
3 and -2.
What is 3?
The slope.
So the slope is equal to 3, and the y-intercept is what?
-2.
Y-intercept is equal to -2, right? So we have our equation. We have y is equal to mx plus b, right? So what are we plugging in here?
The 3 will go with the mx.
So 3 goes where the m is, and
Mx plus and then -2.
then -2. So you can write this as 3x minus 2. That's our equation. Simple as that. Alright. So real quick, do on the guided practice, do where it says number 1. Alright, it says write an equation, slope intercept form of the line. Slope is -1/2 and the y-intercept of 8. So you have slope of -1/2, y-intercept of 8. Everybody seems to be done? Alright, so what's the first thing we do?
Y equals
So we have y equals mx plus b. They say our slope is what?
-1/2.
Our slope is -1/2. Y-intercept is
8.
8. So we plug this in, we get what?
Y equals -1/2 x plus 8.
Y equals -1/2 x plus 8. So that's just them basically giving us a slope and a y-intercept, and we're plugging into the formula. Alright? And once you plug it into the formula, you can take this equation and graph it, and then you can come up with every solution that you can plug in here that goes along with the graph. Alright? So let's go to example number 2. Example number 2 is we have a slope and a point on the line, and they want us to graph the line. Okay? So example 2, we're going to use our second type of equation. Alright? We're going to have our point slope form. So we have our point slope form. Alright, which is y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1. so let's look at the example. It says write an equation in point slope form of the line with slope -3/4 that contains the point -2,5. So they give us two things, all right? First thing is they give us the slope, which is -3/4, right? And they give us a point, which is -2,5. All right. Now this point is what's represented by the x1 and the y1 in the equation. So when we write our point, we can just go ahead and just put x1, y1. That way when we write our equation, we know where to plug in all of our information to. All right. So when we plug this in, we'll have y, and then y1 is 5, equal to our slope, -3/4, and then we have x, and then we have a minus and a minus gives us a positive, and then 2. Any questions? What's the question?
I get it.
Good? Alright, so we have y minus 5 equal to, we must distribute this to each term, because this is distributive property right here.
It's gonna be -3.
So we have -3/4 times x. Alright, and then negative times a positive gives us a negative. And then -3/4 times 2, we do -3 times 2, which is -6. Oh, we already got the signs right there, my bad. And then 4, this is basically over 1, so 4 times 1 gives us 4. Okay,
Excuse me.
what's up? Does anybody else need one ahead?
I need one. Well, I might as well get one. Thank you.
Once we get to here, what are we doing? What's our main objective? We're trying to graph a line, right?
We're gonna add
When we graph a line, what form are we looking for?
slope.
Huh?
What? Slope and so forth.
Slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b.
See,
We have our y, we have our mx right here, so all we have to do is get it to where we have y is equal to mx plus b. So what's the thing, what we need to do?
add 5.
We need to add 5. And when we add 5, we get y equal to -3/4 x. And then we have -6/4 plus 5. And we get, what's that, 14/5?
7/2.
7/2? And there's your answer. Any questions? You want to do another one? Let's see here. If I told you that we had a slope of 2 and a point of 0.4, right? So the first thing we're going to do, label our point, right? And what we do next?
What happened? Oh, we're gonna plug them in.
So we're going to write our equation. And we're going to plug in our information. So we have y minus y1 is,
If it's a negative number, would we put plus?
right, if you ever have a negative, if your x1 or y1 is ever negative, it will be plus into the equation.
And if you're adding 5, if it was a positive, you subtract 5.
Right. Alright, so what's our y1?
4.
4 equal to our m,
2.
2, and then x, and our x1, 0. Alright, so then we write our equation, so we have y minus 4. We distribute our 2. Alright, so we have 2 times x minus, and then 2 times 0 is 0.
You add 4?
And we add 4. And we get y equal to 2x plus 4. So this equation right here satisfies our given condition. Because what you do is if you take your equation that we just did, 2x plus 4, right? First condition we need to look at is our slope 2. Yes, it is. Alright, we have 2x, so our slope is 2. We should be able to take this point and plug it in where x and y is, and our condition check out. Alright, so let's do that real quick. So, if we have y, our y is 4 in this case, right? Equal to 2, and then our x is 0, plus 4, and we get 4 equal to 2 times 0 is 0, plus 4, and does 4 equal 4? Yes, it does. So we know that we did our equation correctly. So that's just a way to check yourself if you want to check yourself. Just to see if you got the correct answer, got the correct equation for the graph line. Alright. So, let's see y'all do it. Alright.
Do which one?
You said make up one?
I'll get one on the board for you. If I have a slope of, say, -3, and say our point is -2, 1. Alright. Give me the equation that will satisfy this condition.
The Y.
What's it allowed?
Huh?
Oh, it'd be the.
I want you to work it out, and we'll go up together, see if you get the correct answer. Have a slope of -3, and your point is -2, 1. So what's the first thing you're gonna do?
Put your slope as.
Write down the formula.
You're gonna write down the formula, label your point, and then plug it into point slope formula. And then solve the equation for slope intercept form. Make sure you remember that -2, when you have a -2, you have a minus and a minus, that changes that to what? Plus. Make sure you remember when you have a minus and a minus, it changes that to a what? Plus. Make sure you remember when you have a minus and a minus, it changes that to a what? Plus.
How did you calculate? Okay, my bad.
You got a minus and a minus, which changes that to a what? It changes that to a positive 2. So it'd be -3 times 2, which is 6. Now what do you get for? What do you get for -3?
Oh.
Huh? Now we change that to a plus 2, we have -3 times 2, we change that to a. Now we have a plus right here, you can multiply by -3, change that to a what? Change that to a plus, multiply by -3, change that to a. Same thing, that was still what? Plus 6. go. We have our equation. Alright, leave our point, this is x1, this is y1, right? So we plug it in, we have y minus y1, in this case is 1, equal to slope is -3, x, and then x1 is a -2, so a minus and a minus gives us a +2. Alright, so we have y minus 1 equal to, distribute, we have -3x minus 3 times a +2 gives us a -6. And then what's the last step?
Add one of those both
We add 1. And we get y equal to -3x minus 5.
sides. Don't, the last one, don't we gotta put it over one or something like that?
You don't have to. The reason why I did that a while ago is because if your slope, if you have a fraction as a slope, you want to, every time when you add fractions, say I add, multiply 2/3 times 4. I always put this over 1, just so you can see that you multiply the 2 to the 4 to get 8, and then you multiply the 3 to 1 to get 3. That way, somebody doesn't multiply the 3 to the 4, when you're supposed to multiply the 2 to the 4. Alright. Is there any questions on that? Everybody got it? Example 3, let's go. Alright, so example 3, what they do is they give us 2 points. Alright, so if they give us 2 points, they want us to find the slope using 2 points. Alright, so what formula do you think we're going to use?
You point slope.
We're going to try to find the slope. So what formula do you think we'll use?
You want me to say that?
We use the slope formula. Does anybody know what the slope formula is?
M equal what?
We have m equals
Y squared.
y
Well,
squared
Y2
y2
minus Y1
minus y1
over X2
over x2
minus X1.
over x1. Alright, so formula. That's how we find our slope, given 2 points, alright? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, if you look at the first example, they give us the point 0,3. And they give us the point -2, -1. Alright, so there are 2 things I want you to do before you do this, alright? First thing I want you to do is I want you to write out, I guess it'd be 3 things, there's 3 things I want you to do. First I want you to write out your 2 points. Next thing I want you to do, label them, what they are. So our first set will include x1, y1. Our second set will include x2, y2. And then underneath that, I want you to write out your formula. And then plug it in and solve it. Alright, so when we plug this in, we'll get m equal to y2 is 3 minus y1 -1 over x2 0 x1 -2. Alright, if you ever have a minus and then a negative number, make sure you put that negative number in parentheses so you don't get that confused. Alright? Exactly. And that way you can see that this is going to change this into a positive. So when we solve this, we have a minus and a minus, changes that to a plus. We have a minus and a minus, changes that to a plus. So this becomes m equal to 3 plus 1 is 4, 0 plus 2 is 2, and we get 2. So our slope in this case is 2. Any questions? Let's do another one. Alright, our second one, second example they give us, hold on, it says write an equation of a line through each pair of points in slope-intercept form. Alright, so, that's the second part, my bad. So, they give us a, so we found our slope, right? So our slope now is 2, correct? So what we can do is we can take one of our points that they gave us at the very beginning. And you can choose either one that you want to. I usually try to choose an easier one. If it has a 0 in it, I typically choose that one because it's easier. You have one less number to deal with. Alright, so I'll choose 0, 3 as my point. Alright, so we have our slope form, or point slope formula. We have y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1. What? Alright, so we're going to plug it in. So we have y minus, label our points. Y1 is 3 equal to, slope is 2, x minus x1 is 0. Alright. So now we have y minus 3 equal to, we distribute our 2. We have 2x minus 0. And then our last step, we add 3 on both sides. And we get y equal to 2x plus 3.
I got a question.
Okay.
I ain't trying to dance,
What?
but wouldn't it be easy just to y with mx plus b?
You can do that. This is one way to do it, right here. Another way, if you want to do it, what Chantel just said, is once you find your slope, you can take y equal to mx plus b. Okay. And we have our slope, m equals 2, and we have a point, 0, 3. So in this case, it will be represented by x and y. And what she was saying is you can plug this in. Y is equal to 3. Our slope is 2. Our x is 0. And then we don't know what b is. So you solve the equation for b. So you have 3 equal to 0 plus b. And 0 plus b is b. So b is equal to 3. So now you go back to here and you have y equal to 2x plus 3. So as you can see, it works with both ways. So if you like this way better, you can do it this way. If you like this way better, you can do it this way. I'll work it out both ways if y'all want me to, so you can see how each way works. Alright, so let's do another one. Doing this.
So we have to do that second part?
What?
We have to do all that?
Yes, if he gives you 2 points and asks you what the slope is, along with the equation of the line, then you have to do both parts. Now, if it just asks you for the slope, you just do this part. But if it asks you for the equation of the line as well, you have to do this as well. Alright? In this case, it asks you to find the slope and the equation of the line. Alright, so let's look at the second example. So the second example, we have -7, -4, or +4 even, and 9, -4. Alright, so first thing we do is label. So we label our points. We have our equation. And we plug it in. So m is equal to, y2 is -4, y1 is 4, over, x2 is 9, x1 is -7. Alright. We have a negative and a negative. So I'm going to change that to a plus. Now we can solve. -4 minus 4 is -8. 9 plus 7 is 16. Can this be reduced?
Yes.
Yes. It reduces to what case?
1/3.
1.
1/2.
1/2. So it'll be -1/2. Alright, so our slope is equal to -1/2. So we have -1/2 as our slope. Alright, and what's our next step?
Do the line thing.
We have to plug it into and find our line. So which point do y'all want to use? Huh? What's the slope, what point? You have to choose one of the points on there.
9-4.
You're gonna use 9, it doesn't matter. So we'll use 9, -4. Alright, so we'll do it in both equations, so y'all can see both ways, alright? So we have y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1, point slope form, alright? Label our points, and then plug it in. So we have y minus 9 equal to, slope is -1/2, x, we have a minus and a minus, so that changes that to a +4. Alright, and we have y minus 9 equal to -1/2, distributing our -1/2 x minus 2. And then our last step, we add 9 to both sides, and we get y equal to -1/2 x plus 7. Alright. Or you could say y equal to mx plus b. We have our slope, -1/2. We have our point, 9, -4, x and y, right? And then we have y equal to, I guess we do that, plug it in right here. So we have -4 equal to -1/2 times 9 plus b, right? Right? So we have -4 equal to -9/2 plus b, and to get b by itself, we must do what?
Add that 9 to the other side.
Right, so we add 9/2 to both sides. And then, that's all. I make a mistake. Do what? I make a mistake. But you kid. I know that's not right.
Why don't you three different old ones?
Huh?
Why don't you three different old ones?
No, something's not right. Don't see why it's not working. I don't know why it's not working. I really don't.
Is that part wrong? Oh,
No, that part's right.
Question.
Oh, I see what I did wrong.
So,
I see what I did wrong.
so that part is wrong.
Yes, it is. It should be, y plus 4 equal to -1/2 x minus 9.
Would
There
you
we
have it
go.
first?
Huh?
Would you have it first?
I had the 9 over here and the 4 over here. I had it backwards. So then you get y plus 4 equal to -1/2 x plus 9/2, and then subtract the 4, and you 9/2 minus 4, you should get 1/2. You should get that. And then if you plug it in over here, you'll get y equal to -1/2 times 9 plus b. That will be -4. And you get -4 equal to -9/2 plus b. And then like Kat said, add 9/2, and you get 1/2 equal to b. And then you plug it back in, you get y equal to -1/2 x plus 1/2.
Good job.
Alright, so even teachers make mistakes sometimes too. Alright, so, real quick, do this one. Do -1/3 or -1/3 and 7/3.
1/3.
Yeah.
This is a flood form.
A what?
The flood form.
Yeah, put it in slope and then choose one of the equations and come up with a line. Don't be confused if you get slope equal to 0. Still plug into the formula, solve like you would. Everybody just about finished up. Alright, so first thing we do, label our points. Alright, write our formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We get our slope, so m is equal to y2 is 3, y1 is 3 over x2 is 7 minus y1 is -1. We have a minus and a minus, so we change that to a plus, right? And we get equal, so m is equal to 3 minus 3 is 0, 7 plus 1 is 8, so our slope is 0. Alright, so we can do either equation, alright, I'll do both for you. So we have our slope equal to 0, and we choose a point. I'll choose -1/3 or -1/3. Alright, so this will be x1, this will be y1. I have my formula. Alright, so I have y1 is 3 equal to slope 0, x, and then plus 1, minus and a minus, change that to a plus. So I have y minus 3 equal to, distribute my 0, I get 0x plus 0. So I get y minus 3 equal to 0, so y this way. You have your slope equal to 0. You have my point, -1, 3. So we have y equal to mx plus b. This is my x, this is my y. So I have 3 equal to 0 times -1 plus b. So 3 is equal to 0 plus b. So 3 is equal to b. And then I plug it back in. I have y equal to 0x plus 3. So y is equal to 3. I see y'all, all y'all have that. So I seen at first y'all get confused because your slope is 0. So what that is the horizontal line. If your slope is ever 0 on your graph, if it, like this case, is y equals 3, your graph will look just like this right here. Because your y point on this whole graph is 3. Alright, so one more concept. Alright, last example. If they give me a slope, or let's say this.
Pardon the interruption. Can student council
So say they give us an equation, alright? Say y is equal to 1/2 x plus 2, alright? What's my slope in this equation?
1/2.
So my slope is 1/2, alright? If they ask me to plot a point or plot a line parallel to this equation, alright? Parallel lines. What does parallel lines look like? They're two lines that never touch. So their slopes must be
The same.
the same. So if they ask me to find an equation parallel to this equation, the slopes will be the same. So the slope to my new equation would also be 1/2. If they tell me to find a slope or equation of a line perpendicular to this line, alright, what do you think you would do to the slope?
Flip it.
They would intersect at 90-degree angles, but what do you think the slopes would be?
90.
You would take the slope, so in this case, our slope is 1/2, and if it was perpendicular, you flip it
2/1.
Oh.
and then change the sign. So it would be -2/1 or -2. So real quick, if I had an equation, say 2x, or say 2x plus 2, alright? And I wanted the new equation to run between 3, 4, alright? Give me the equation of the parallel line with this information given, alright? So your m and your new equation would be what? It would be 2, and then you would use the point 3, 4. So there's my x1, here's my y1, right? So I did the same thing. I would have y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1. And I would have y minus 4 equal to 2 x minus 3. So y minus 4 equal to 2x minus 6, distribute my 2. And I would add 4. And my new equation would be y equal to 2x minus 3. So these two lines right here would be parallel lines that would never touch. So that's them giving you an equation, and you just know that a parallel line would have the same slope as this line, and then plugging in your new point to find the equation of that line. Alright?